Welcome to England Now 7, and today we dive straight into the storm surrounding number 10. Imagine this: you're 14 months into power, your promises are running thin, your critics are circling, and the country is asking, what have you actually achieved? That's the moment Sir Keir Starmer chose to announce what he called Phase 2 of his government. But was it really a fresh start or simply a desperate reset? Within hours, chaos erupted. His deputy, Angela Rayner, was forced to resign after failing to pay £40,000 in stamp duty, a mistake no ordinary citizen would be allowed to brush aside. Her departure sent shockwaves through Westminster and forced the Prime Minister to conduct a full-scale reshuffle, bringing in a new Foreign Secretary, a new Home Secretary, and a new Justice Secretary. But did this shakeup look like a bold vision or just firefighting? Source Daily Express. Who exactly is Angela Rayner to the Labour faithful? She's a working-class northern woman who became a single mum at 16 and fought her way into the upper ranks of politics. For many activists, she was the human face of the party. So what does her absence mean for Labour's image now? Was she a loss too heavy for Starmer to carry? Source Daily Express. The Prime Minister told his new cabinet to focus on three priorities: economic growth, that people can feel in their pockets, secure borders, and a stronger NHS. On paper, it sounds clear. In practice, inflation is still stubbornly high, unemployment is rising, and shoplifting has turned Britain's high streets into unsafe spaces. Add to that a broken promise: Labour pledged to cut household energy bills by up to £300. Yet the Ofgem price cap is actually £152, higher than when Labour came to power. Can voters really trust these pledges anymore? Source Daily Express. The NHS waiting list has barely shifted down from 7.6 million to 7.4 million, hardly the transformation people expected. And schools are still waiting for clarity, with the Department for Education working on curriculum reforms behind closed doors. Will parents and teachers believe in a government that seems to be rewriting as it goes along? Source Daily Express. Now pause for a moment and think. Do you believe this new Phase 2 is about delivery or about damage control? Write your thoughts below, because your perspective matters more than any press release from Downing Street. One of Starmer's biggest moves was to appoint Darren Jones as Chief Secretary to the Prime Minister, a brand new role designed to oversee delivery. But by doing so, he effectively abandoned the grand plan he announced in July 2024, which set out 5 missions: economic growth, clean energy, safer streets, better schools, and a reformed NHS. How many of those missions can you honestly say have been achieved so far? Source Daily Express. Let's not forget Britain's mountain of debt, £2.8 trillion. Interest payments alone are swallowing £105 billion a year, more than we spend on education, in triple the defense budget. Just 5 years ago, that figure was £25 billion. How can any government deliver ambitious reform when so much money is already gone before a single policy is funded? Source Daily Express. There was another dramatic change in the Treasury. Instead of relying solely on Chancellor Rachel Reeves, the Prime Minister brought in Baroness Minouche Shafik, a former Deputy Governor of the Bank of England, as his chief economic advisor, reporting directly to him, not the Chancellor. Does this mean Starmer has lost faith in his own finance minister? Can a Prime Minister and a Chancellor really share power over the economy? Or is this a recipe for disaster? Source Daily Express. History offers a warning. Margaret Thatcher once insisted on having her own economic advisor, Sir Alan Walters. The fallout led to the resignation of her Chancellor, Nigel Lawson, and deepened divisions that ended her premiership. Could Starmer be walking the same perilous path? Source Daily Express. Inside the Labour Party. Some MPs whisper that this so-called relaunch proves what they always suspected: there was never a coherent plan for government in the first place. Starmer succeeded in pushing Jeremy Corbyn's supporters out of the party and in winning power. But after that, it was as if the page was blank. Do you agree with those MPs? Has Labour been running Britain without a real plan? Source Daily Express. Polls show that when asked to name something Labour has done since winning power, voters struggle. The most common answers mean testing winter fuel payments and the 50,000 small boat crossings, neither exactly a shining achievement. Is that what the government wants to be remembered for? Source Daily Express. Of course, Labour can point to one excuse: the Tories left behind colossal debts worsened by the pandemic. Yet excuses don't cut energy, bills don't shorten NHS waiting times, and don't keep Britain safe. With reform pressing hard on the right and a possible alliance of Greens independents and Corbynites pressing from the left, Labour faces being squeezed from both sides. Add to that looming elections in Scotland, Wales, and major English cities. Could the Labour majority already be under threat just a year after their landslide victory? Source Daily Express running a country was never meant to be easy. But the question for Sir Keir Starmer is clear. Has Phase 2 given him the space to reset, or is it proof that Phase 1 was an abject failure? Can a government this bruised regain the trust of the people, or is Britain heading for another cycle of disillusionment and division? Now over to you, the viewers of England. Now 7, do you think Starmer's reset will work? Do you believe Labour can still deliver on its promises, or is it already too late? Share your answers in the comments. Your views will drive the debate in the weeks ahead. And if you want more straight talk from number 10 to the corridors of Westminster, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay ahead of the news that truly matters. This story is not finished, and we'll be here every step of the way to cover it with clarity, honesty, and depth.